All right. Welcome in for another week. We're going to talk about fantasy football and football in general this week. We got Derrek and Wyatt on. I'm Nate Wallace. I'm from St. George, Utah. Well, I'm from Colorado, but live in St. George, Utah now. So broadcasting from there. Derrek?
I'm out here in Denver still.
Yeah. Okay. And Wyatt Smith.
It snowed 8 inches in Idaho Falls last night.
It did?
Yeah, it's the first time.
How did you measure that it was 8 inches, Wyatt?
It was twice as deep as my dick. Yeah, so welcome.
Placid, or what are we talking about here? Let's get into the details.
Winter. Well, it's cold, so
yeah,
it was cold. I had shrinkage.
I just got out of the pool.
Yeah, so it's officially football season now that there's snow and
touche.
Winter.
No snow for me down here, hardly ever. We might get an inch a year, so pretty exciting. Love that. Don't have to shovel sunshine down here. Well, fellas, let's get into a little bit. A whole lot of great fun things happened this week in fantasy football. How'd your teams do?
Shut up.
I won. I had a great thrilling finish, Monday night finish. I had Lamar Jackson.
Ugh.
How far were you down going into that game?
I was down.
You had Lamar and
30.
Jonathan Taylor, right?
Yeah. And I was down 30, so easy win.
That was over by halftime.
Yeah.
My work league here in St. George, I went against Jonathan Taylor and Lamar Jackson, and I was up 55.
Yeah.
And the moment that Jonathan Taylor went for that big play, what is it, a 72-yarder?
73 or something like that.
Yeah. I texted the guy, good game, good win. I knew it was over. I mean, at that point, there's no way Lamar is not going to put 30, 40, 50 up on a Monday night game. Although that first half, it sort of looked like Indianapolis.
Oh, they were shutting them down. Yeah. I was really impressed with Carson Wentz. I was really impressed with Carson Wentz. I was talking with my son, and we were talking about how bad Carson Wentz had been.
Right.
He just really balled out in that game, but just wasn't quite enough because Lamar.
Yeah, and how much has Jonathan Taylor helped that offense these last 2 weeks? Mm-hmm. I mean, because the first 3 weeks, Jonathan Taylor didn't do anything.
Yeah, barely 8 points, I think, on my team.
Yeah.
I should have pushed harder to trade for him. I tried a little something, and then I just didn't push it. I should have. I knew it was coming.
Yeah. No, I mean, I had him on one of my teams last year and won the Super Bowl with him, and I had James Robinson and him. And I mean, I was almost unbeatable there towards the end of the season, as those two just seemed like they traded one good game after another. It was fantastic. It was really, really solid. Really, really solid.
Cool. Good games this week, though.
Yeah, really good football. Any particular games jump out at you guys at all that you can think of that like really were? I mean, obviously, I would say that Monday night game was phenomenal.
That was huge.
It was really great. High scoring, and I mean, kicks missed, kicks made. I mean, it was just nail biter.
Two games of the week that stood out to me were the Browns and Chargers.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, if you like points, and who doesn't like scoring? Man. That was phenomenal. And I'm a little bit of a homer with this, but I'm telling you that Cincinnati-Green Bay game was a lot of fun to watch and very frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Crosby.
So you became a Cincinnati fan a while back, right?
Yeah. Yeah. My ex is from Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's right.
Proxy. We've been fans ever since. So
for sure.
Yeah, go Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Cool helmets.
Hey,
they got that going for them.
They got that.
Best helmet in the league.
Oh.
They should do a all white color rush Siberian tiger helmet, but that's just me.
Dude, that would be badass.
That would be sick. That's a great idea, man.
Trademark.
They should do a Thursday night football one like that. Those color rush games were sweet. I love
that. Could be freaking cool. Good idea, Wyatt.
Oh, that's dope. You. It's really good, dude. Hey, speaking of old Cincinnati players, old Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco. How good would he be in today's NFL with some of those hand checking? rules that are out there right now. I mean, I can't imagine. He'd be incredible.
There's a lot of things that'd be different, but yeah, no, he was terrific.
Yeah, absolutely.
Plus he can kick.
Plus he can kick. Which, listen, I know it's off topic, but I'm just going to bring it up one more time because I know Goodell listens to this podcast.
That's right. He does.
It is
watch what you
my
know.
belief that kicker shouldn't be a thing. I think a kicker needs to be a different position on your team, like your third string linebacker is your kicker, because this concept of kickers just bothers me. It's a huge skill. They're phenomenal at what they do, but these paragons of physical perfection battle each other for hours, and then in comes
Rodrigo Blankenship.
Rodrigo with his goggles and lily white uniform to win or lose it all,
and loses it.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. I mean, you can't. That's never going anywhere.
Of course not.
Well, you'd rather see the game.
When I start my league, me and Vince McMahon are starting another league, and we're not going to have
XXXFL.
Exactly. It's going to be great.
How about you have to go for it on fourth down? There's no punting.
Sure.
Why not? Right?
Sure. Yeah. If it's like 4th and 3 or less,
will they have to change the name of the sport if we get rid of all the kicking, though? Yeah. Is it just handball, catch ball? Just ball.
It'd just be ball.
The NFL
ball.
It would work.
Oblong ball.
National Ball League.
That's awesome.
Wait,
we got 2 trademarks tonight. We're gonna.
You're on fire, you guys. You're on fire. I freaking love it.
Fair enough.
All right, so let's talk about. Oh, by the way, one more thing on that game, that Browns Charger game. That rushing combination of Nick Chubb and what's wrong with me right now? Kareem Hunt.
Hareem Cunt, I called him once by accident.
I mean, why can't I mean, Kareem Hunt looks phenomenal. I mean, why can't
he is?
I mean, why can't I guess I'm shocked that people aren't blowing up the Cleveland Browns saying, we want Kareem Hunt, we want Kareem Hunt, we want Kareem Hunt.
Well, as soon as he's a free agent, he'll get his chance. But you kick one white girl, and it's just changes everything.
It was like in a hotel, like hallway or something, wasn't it?
Yeah. And
that was
I fully believe she deserved it, but I don't know what was said. But I'm just going to assume, because I need him to score points for me, and that's all that matters.
Obviously, she deserved it. I mean, what else would he do it? Right?
But he can't say that she has Michelin lips, like. But he can kick her.
Right.
Well, where's Carlos when you need him? Oh, buddy. Oh, dear. Oh, boy.
Jamar Chase isn't he setting records, or he's on pace?
He's on pace. Yeah.
Yeah. I think through at least the first 3 games, he had the only other player that had the stats, the yards and the touchdown for those first, was it 4 games, 3 or 4 games, was Randy Moss. Oh, really? I mean, yeah. And that's how hot of a start.
I mean, I know Justin Jefferson set the rookie record, but
yeah,
Jamar Chase,
he's on pace.
Justin Jefferson, but Jamar Chase looks even better and has that rapport. And it's funny, they were on the same team in college. So
yeah, dude. So
I have for us talking about.
I have Jamar Chase in 2 of my 3 leagues, and he's been an absolute animal. A little more quiet the last, was it 2 games? Like, I think he was top 5 in the first 2 games or 3 games, something like that. But he still looks phenomenal. And the one touchdown he did catch, I don't know if you guys saw the slow-mo on that, but I mean, it barely got over the arm of the defender. I mean, and I was shocked he caught it, because it was in that, that range, like that's right here. Like you're not here, in the numbers they call it. I mean, when it hits you like dead in the chest, that's like a tough catch, and it hit him right there. And I mean, he handled it like awesome. I'm not watching many of the full games. Has he had many drops? I haven't seen.
He had 1 in the last game, but in general, no. Remember when Jamar Chase dropping balls was a thing.
Oh, yeah, unbelievable.
Seems like it was 10 years ago.
He's doing fantastic, man.
He's
absolutely
fine.
Fantastic.
He figured out those laces.
He did. What wasn't the laces? It was the white stripes, right?
That's what he was talking about, right?
Yeah.
The white stripes on the ball bugged him.
It was funny. If you went back and watched that whole thing, it was funny. It was a good interview.
Oh yeah. So let's talk about the last 2 weeks. And what I did was I put together the top 6 at each position in total points, fantasy points in the last 2 weeks. And so I'll start with the quarterbacks. So this is just, like I said, cumulative total points, fantasy points, the last 2 weeks. 1 through 6 is Justin Herbert's 1, Lamar Jackson 2, Tom Brady 3, Matt Ryan 4,
Jets made him
Josh Allen 5, and Pat Mahomes 6.
One of these things is not like the other.
So this is probably a pretty obvious one here. But what I want to ask is who is the most likely of those 6 candidates to stay at the top of that list, and who is the least likely to stay at the top of that list? Wyatt, you go first.
Well, as you can tell, I'm wearing my Ravens purple. I'm pretty biased towards Lamar.
Yeah. So you think Lamar has the highest chance of staying up at the top of that list, fantasy points?
Yeah, I think he just broke through a pretty big ceiling, especially for his career. Just 85% passing, 400 and something yards, plus 60 rushing. He's not going to do that again, but he might do close to it over and over.
Yeah.
Especially just the more he gets comfortable. And I don't know, 2 fumbles a game. If you can play like that, it doesn't matter. But Brady's so annoyingly consistent. I don't know. It's hard to.
Yeah.
There's so many weapons.
Yeah. I'll tell you with Wyatt, with Lamar, what I think is interesting is the Broncos did it last week, and the Colts tried it again this current week because it kind of worked. Is they're doing that mush rush. They're not really trying to get after him. They're trying to just stop him from running.
Yeah.
And so they're forcing him to just stay back in the pocket. He's getting tons of time for the most part because they aren't really just coming after him because they're trying to keep him from breaking the pocket.
Yeah, you don't want holes opening up. Yeah.
And what he's proving is that if you give him time, he will still shred you.
Yeah.
He'll shred you. An NFL quarterback given time will destroy you.
Yeah.
So pick your poison. This next week, I'm really expecting a big rushing game from him because whoever they're playing, they're going to go, well, we can't just let him sit back there.
Yeah, I mean, his passing stats have been phenomenal the last couple of weeks. I had him on all 3 of my fantasy teams last year as my quarterback. I drafted him super early. Yeah. And he had a lot of games that were stinkers, man. Just a lot of stinker games. Like basically, if he didn't run for 2 touchdowns on 100 yards, you didn't necessarily love his performance. He was always decent. You know, he had a couple of big games. But when his MVP year, because I was like, dude, that's just going to keep happening over and over again, that MVP year. So I wanted him and I was taking him early. I was taking him in round 2, you know, in a lot of leagues. But anyhow,
who else? Like, what do we think is going to be up there? I think Tom Brady. I got to tell you this. I heard something, or I believe it. Probably didn't hear it. I heard it in my brain. Yeah, he wants to break the record. And he is. I think he wants to break the record on the way to winning another Super Bowl. Yeah. I think it means something to him at this point. Where I don't know. I don't have specific proof of that. I haven't heard him say anything, and I'm sure he never would. But I'm telling you, he's playing like he gives a crap about just shredding everybody.
Yeah. I mean, well, his numbers prove it. I mean, he's been unbelievable all year. I think he's number 1 in total points for the year, isn't he? In just about any league.
Just so consistent too.
Yeah. I mean, any reasonable debate on who's the greatest ever is kind of over unless you're just a Brady hater.
Well, for the longest time, I argued that. But I can't. I mean, when he won the last one, I was like, it's over. I can't ever even say he's not the greatest of all time anymore. I just can't. It's over. It bugs me. I hate like front runners in sports. I just really hate front runners, and he is just the definition of a front runner. But he's been proving it over and over. He's my age, man. He's our age. Derek, aren't you like 44? All right, so hopefully this works. My internet died in the middle of the
room. He had his AOL dial-up.
Good. Had to find his CD.
I did sign up for some new internet yesterday, and
somebody had to send a fax and use the phone. So
embarrassing. But let's start up. Hopefully, I can stitch this together so it makes sense. But old Tommy Brady. I was going to say, like, I was a hater for a long time, and I made a lot of excuses for the guy. I mean, for why I thought maybe he wasn't the greatest, but there's no question anymore. I mean, he's the greatest. It's over. It's done. You're an idiot, I think, if you argue the alternate on that. But anyhow,
so on that list, that's like the who's who of the league.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is.
Obviously, Matt Ryan is the only one. I think it's obvious that I think he'll be useful in matchups, but unless he gets to play the Jets in London every week.
Yeah, Matt Ryan.
I don't know that he's going to pull those same.
Well, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to look at the last 2 weeks. I mean, the good news is that, he was awful the first 3 weeks. I mean, at least that whole offense looked bad. The whole Atlanta offense looked bad. But,
Fitz is sure good.
Thank goodness for him. Yeah.
And
thank
apparently Cordarrelle Patterson is a thing this year. So
yeah.
At least for now.
Both names to be mentioned here in a minute. So yeah, I think pretty obvious that. So you think Lamar, Wyatt, and Derrick? You think Brady
to be at the top?
Yeah.
Are you talking to
keep
finish
it going
at the top?
Yeah.
I mean,
so
the rest of those guys will keep it going.
If it's week 17 and we're having this conversation, your bet on which one of those guys, barring injury, right, most likely to finish towards the top of that list, like top 2 or 3.
I'm just going to go Brady because I think he really wants to light it up this year. Like it matters to him to do it. And then the I don't know if he's really a dark horse in that group, but Josh Allen, man.
Yeah, Josh Allen and Justin Herbert are just young and awesome. Big arms.
Here's the great thing as a Broncos fan is I got Mahomes and Herbert in the division, and Josh Allen, who we could have had for sure. Oh, we could have had Mahomes too.
Don't even bring it up. Great. It's just the worst.
Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah. As a diehard Denver Nugget fan, one year, this is about 5 or 6 years ago, I went through every NBA draft.
Oh, that's depressing.
Went through every NBA draft.
Don't do that to you.
Edgar Allan Poe said what might have been.
Team. Well, but here's the thing. I mean, look, every NBA team misses on guys. Every NFL team misses on guys. It just happens. The good news
Portland, but
don't not like Portland.
Durant and Jordan, but that's
so bad.
Didn't they get Bowie? Was that it?
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, Sam Bowie, very excellent pick. I mean, it was, and people think, it was Hakeem Olajuwon went first, and then Sam Bowie, 1983 draft, right? And then Jordan. 80, I thought it was 83. Okay.
But Jordan wouldn't have been shit if he didn't end up in Chicago, though. He's totally a product of the system.
Such a shit.
Mostly a system player. Agreed.
Yeah. I mean, look, he went to the Wizards and they didn't do shit. So
touche.
My point is proven. There is no way to disprove it.
Yeah. Which brings up Brady one more time. I mean, at this age, for him to be having this kind of impact is just unreal. I mean,
no, it's special.
Unreal. All right.
What about running backs?
Yeah, so let's go there. So here we go. Top six.
Just from the last 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Okay.
Jonathan Taylor, number 1. Austin Eckler, number 2.
Similar players.
Derrick Henry, 3.
King.
Cordarrelle Patterson, 4. We're calling him an RB. Amen. Zeke Elliott, 5.
He's back. He's still back.
Nick Chubb, 6. Nick Chubb. Okay, so same question. Derek, you go first this time. Most likely, least likely. You want me to read them back again?
No. I think the most likely, I'm actually going to go just because I love the way they use him. I think he still has a lot more to give as Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
And I think he'll continue to climb. And as long as he stays healthy, which is always an if with running backs, but he is unreal. Yeah. Love the way they're using
totally
Eckler.
Agree.
Obviously, Henry is phenomenal, but I think Nick Chubb could be the dark horse there. I just really like what he does. And Cordell Patterson will not be a thing by the end of the year. I just don't believe it.
I mean, it just keeps happening, though, right?
Trade him. 2 weeks. Trade him now.
No, it's not 2. It's like 3 weeks or 4 weeks in a row.
No, it's not. It's ish. He had a couple of okay weeks. Then he had these. It's my opinion. Don't yell at me.
Don't get me wrong. That's the obvious pick in my opinion as well.
If you could package him and another
Eckler because he gets
player, Eckler could be getting hurt. If you could package Cordell and something for like an elite player, which might be doable right now, I would do it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I mean, you're using him if you got him and you don't trade him, but this is as high as his trade value will get, and he has a high likelihood. There's no way he keeps this up.
I agree. I mean, like you said, he's 31 years old, journeyman. Played all over the place. How can he keep it up, man? It's crazy. But here we are again, right? Here we are again, and we're talking about him again, man. But then again,
he is on bye week, so
yeah, he won't do douche this week.
This week, that's right.
All right. So, Dub, are you on the Zeke train then, Dub?
I'm all in, as you can tell by my royal cowboy blue sweater. He just looks good, and I think he and Chubb both have good handcuffs on their team, so they're not getting overworked like Henry is, or might be. I think Zeke and the Cowboys are just climbing the power rankings.
Right now.
That defense, and then Lawrence will come back, and it'll be a Super Bowl. Stamp it.
Oh. Yeah. Colin, you've said that every year for a while now.
Since 95.
It's been a while.
Well, you're bound to be right one of these times.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, they look really, really good.
No, they look
surprised me at all if they weren't in the fracas later on, man.
Well, they're running the ball a lot more than they had been. They're not just slinging it 45 times a game. The defense looks good enough, and the offense is so good that Dan Quinn defense can take some chances. And that's why you got Trayvon Diggs. What is he at? 22 interceptions already on the air, something like that. He'll get burned. He will get burned a lot, I think, because he's overly aggressive. But I think that's what they want. I think they're doing that on purpose. It's a fun time to be a Cowboy fan. It makes me want to throw up in my mouth.
All right. So are you saying Cordell is on the bottom of that list too, Dub?
I am. And I like Chubb a lot. Just he's not going to get overworked.
Yeah.
The Browns are a fun team. These Browns and the Chargers, Cowboys, Ravens, it's just a fun year. There's got some good, exciting talent. And I don't know, the Cowboys, we played parity. That's the way the NFL's the best. The Giants, it sucks. Barkley's my RB1.
Stings.
It looks bad. But
stings the nostrils.
He's not on IR, so
we'll see. I
don't know what that means. Maybe he's just 4 weeks.
Well, hopefully Dub's internet's not giving up on us here. You're getting the glitch there, bud.
I just sent him a fax too.
You know what it is. I don't want to tattle. It's my wife on the damn TikToks. She's stealing my Wi-Fi.
The Chinese will get you.
I'll send her a pointed text. Don't mind me. Proceed.
I'll go with the safe pick, by the way, on that list. I avoided Derrick Henry in all my drafts.
Me too.
I could have had him in 2 of my leagues. And he looks phenomenal.
I was wrong. That's
I worried about workload, and he's just
of course,
doing it.
No, he's the one giving everybody else the workload. It's silly right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you just can't stop. And the thing that's crazy to me, every single time I see this, his breakaway speed on those long runs.
I forget how fast he is.
How can these guys not catch him? I mean, these guys that play corner and safety, these are the guys that run the 4.3s and the 4.4s. You know what I mean? Like how can they not catch him?
And they're 60 pounds lighter.
Right. No, Nate, they don't want to catch him. They can. They don't want to because they don't want to end up on a poster or some Sports Center highlight. They're like, no,
you're lying.
You do that. They're like, let him run. We'll just slow it down. I don't want to end up getting a stiff arm to my noggin.
Hey, just want to ask one question too out there. So for just waiver wire pickups, Damian Williams coming in for Chicago. I have a feeling he's going to get a lot of work and he's going to have a chance to make a difference in somebody's team.
Oh, if he's available in your league, get him now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. He's looked pretty good too. I think when he's gotten the chances and the reps, he looks pretty good. I'm not saying he's going to be on this list at all, but for certain. All right, let's talk about wide receivers real quick. All right, so you got Tyreek Hill, number 1, Deebo Samuel 2, Marquise, aka Hollywood Brown 3, Devonta Adams 4, Antonio Brown 5, and Mike Williams 6 on that list.
Interesting.
All right, so Derrick, you're up. Who do you got for most likely to stay, most likely to go?
Well, so Devonta Adams was probably the number 1 receiver taken in most drafts. Yeah. And I'd say if you're PPR, he'll probably end up at or near the top, depending on what scoring system you have. If you have long touchdown bonuses and stuff like that, like in our other league mate, then Tyreek might be the guy, but you're going to have those down weeks too. Devontae's going to be super consistent. I'd say Deebo is probably the one that I think is going to, again, he's a trade high candidate right now. Some of his touchdowns, some of the way he scored isn't really sustainable. So he has big stat lines at the end of the game, but I don't know that that's like a consistent thing you're going to be able to get. Again, you're starting him, but if you can package him with something else and get a Devonta Adams or something like that, I think that would be a good idea. I did want to say, because Antonio Brown is on that list, how right does he look right now about the whole situation in Pittsburgh? Like, you think now you go back and you see the way everything went down, maybe Antonio wasn't the crazy one. He's still crazy.
No, he's absolutely crazy.
He's still crazy.
That's that.
But maybe
there's no debate. By the way, have you seen the pictures of his feet?
You read my mind. Didn't he freeze his feet off?
Dude,
talk about a fresh start, huh?
Derek, Google this.
He's got fresh baby feet.
Hey, anyone watching this right now, just Google Antonio Brown's feet. Gonna love it. Gonna love it.
Hold on, let me.
Oh, I gotta see the library.
I think I have that saved in my Pornhub. No, yeah, I remember. Wasn't it a couple years ago where he froze his feet off or something like that?
Yeah. Oh,
that was interesting.
Yeah,
I'm a big route runner guy. I love perfect route runners, and he is a perfect route runner. Still, he's amazing.
Someone dropped him in one of my leagues. I have no idea how that happened. He had like one bad week or something. I'm spending like $40 of my money just trying to get him on my squad. I need him. I mean,
spend it all. You're not.
He can benefit so much from Brady just being stubborn, or not stubborn, but like, I'll throw to who I want. I'm Tom Brady. Yeah. Like, he can just say, well, I asked him to come here and he's my pet project. I'll make him a star again.
Well, Brady will throw to the open guy, and Antonio Brown is always open. That's just
I mean, let's go back to 3 or 4 years ago. Antonio Brown was the consensus number 1 wide receiver, period, end of story.
For like 5 years.
No debate. Yeah. I mean, he was the show. I mean, and no one could guard him at all. I mean, it was just unbelievable.
And he had a mind meld with Big Ben, and it looks like he has the same thing going with Brady right now.
Yeah, no, for sure.
If you took a chance on him, Congrats.
Yeah. Okay, so least likely to stay on that. You said Debo.
I think Debo of that group.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, Wyatt, what do you think?
Even though we were just talking about Antonio Brown, I hope he slumps, but I don't know, just because I don't like him much. But San Francisco seems a mess. I've had Kittle this whole year, and it's annoying. I don't know who's going to be
out for a little while, right?
Yeah, so that'll get someone like Debo more looks, more catches, but Mike Williams is a little old.
At some point.
It's hard to imagine that the Chargers are going to keep that up.
Yeah, great point, Derek, on Ayuk. Though, I mean, every single fantasy expert out there, that was like their baby, like Brandon Ayuk. I mean, you got to get him. So, I mean, people were picking him up in the 5th, 6th, 7th round all over the place. I mean, he was really rated high, and there's just not been no targets for him. I haven't watched much of the games, though. I mean, is he just not getting open, or is he just not getting thrown to?
It felt like he was in the doghouse or something. He was a little tweaked on an injury early in the season, and he's just working himself in. Gotcha. I don't know. There's going to be a lot of mouths to feed once Kittle is healthy, but that could be several weeks from now. But I don't know. I love Debo. Debo is so fun to watch. He might be the best in the league with the ball in his hand.
He's fast,
but of that group.
Yeah.
And me saying I like these other guys doesn't mean I don't like Debo. Debo's amazing. But in that group, I think he's going to have some down games.
Wyatt, who's your guy that's not going to stay on this list, do you think?
Who do we have? Mike Williams, Debo, AB.
Yeah, Devontae. Tyreek, and Hollywood Brown.
Again, I'll be biased that I want Brown to keep doing it. He's had some bad drops.
You talking about Antonio, or are you talking about Marquise Brown?
Yeah, Marquise Brown, Hollywood, number 5 on the Ravens.
Yeah.
I hope he keeps it up, but it's hard to see that passing offense be that consistent.
Yeah, I mean, last year he just had a really rough year, and this year he looks like the second coming. I mean, he is getting wide open, not a little open, wide open, and Lamar is just killing it.
Especially when plays break down a little bit.
Well, imagine where he would be if he didn't have those drops. What was it, week 3 when he had all those drops?
3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm well aware of week 3 when he had those drops. I think I should be like 14-0 right now, but instead I'm like 1-97.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, I would say that, I mean, I think once again, I'll just take the easy choice here. I think Devonta, you're 100% right. I think that's the easiest choice to finish towards the top. And 2, I'm going to throw out, I mean, I think Debo is an easy choice there too, but Mike Williams, it's finally happened. I mean, has this finally happened where this guy, I mean, because he has all that size and all that talent. And last year he had a pretty good year. It wasn't great. The year before that was terrible.
Nothing. Yeah.
But this year he looks amazing. They were the highest scoring week the team this week too.
Yeah.
That I noticed.
Well, I think Mike Williams can sustain it. It's because of 2 words, Justin Herbert, right? That's why he never became a thing. Phillip Rivers just was not that guy for that player. In the NFL, fit is everything. The guys around you is everything. And Justin Herbert, man, he's the truth.
Yeah. Well, Keenan Allen had a really rough week last week, and that hurt me a lot. But, man, I mean, he's amazing too. So, I mean, they've got an incredible
looking top-notch
receiver tandem, and
it's a big explosive offense. Real fun.
We might have an all LA Super Bowl. It's very possible.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And the ratings would just love that, wouldn't they?
Oh, wouldn't
the
they?
League.
FLA Sports. If you're watching this from LA,
yeah.
Don't want.
Isn't the Super Bowl in SoFi? It is. Okay.
Yeah.
There's my conspiracy of the week. Roger Goodell setting it up.
Like the Patriots winning the year of 9/11. Come on.
Of course.
How patriotic, Roger, you bleep word. Gruden said it, not me.
Careful, you might get canceled.
Sure. All right. Tight ends. Oh, hey, actually, I want to bring this up real quick. Here are three guys. So one guy is this a thing? And these other two guys are, what's going on? So at number
yeah, is one of them me, and the other two are you? What's going on?
So number 10 on this list is Kadarius Toney. Kadarius Toney.
I gotta look that up. Is that a thing?
Kadarius Toney from the New York Giants. Mm-hmm. He is a rookie. Yes, he went in one of the higher. He was one of the higher draft picks. Was he round 2 or 3? Where do you know where he went to college, Derek? Kadarius Toney. Do you know where he went to college?
Kadarius Toney.
Oh my gosh. Yes, but I can't recall.
So number 10, does he have a chance to stay in that top 10 in the next few weeks?
He does, because Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton are out for a bit, I think, and then Evan Ingram can't stay healthy anyway. So they drafted him high, and he can fly. And so I think he's a legitimate thing for right now.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's long term, but if you need a
he's going to be available in a lot of leagues. He's going to be available in a lot of leagues.
Who's throwing him the ball though?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Danny Dimes is out.
Danny?
What's the story?
How bad is he?
I don't know the story.
Concussion. He got hit in the head. Cowboys hurt people. We're the best. Okay. He went to Florida, by the way. I looked it up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So do you guys know the comedian Patrice O'Neal?
Of course.
Yeah.
One of my favorite bits of all time for Patrice O'Neal is the bit about, football. Like, man, like football's different. Like back when I was a kid, like we would hit a player. Like now, you hit a player and he goes out, and everyone huddles around and they hold hands and they hope and they pray and they hope to get back up. Like, when I play football, we would all huddle around him and go, "Good. I'm glad you got knocked the F out." And we would take his socks off and we would wrap them around our helmets.
Those are the days.
He's paralyzed.
Oh, jeez.
He's paralyzed.
No.
He's the best. Oh, he's the best. Miss him. Rip. Patrice O'Neal.
He was a king.
So that's one question. So 2, though, here's my other question on the wide receivers, though, moving forward. Number 23 and number 24 on this list, I was actually really surprised. Emmanuel Sanders and Stephon Diggs. Now, here they are with, Josh Allen as one of the top 5 quarterbacks. And somehow Emmanuel Sanders and Stephon Diggs aren't even in the top 10 or 12. So my question is, can Stephon Diggs get back to where he was last year? Derek, you want to take that one?
Yes.
Circle the wagons. That's what Buffalo does.
Nobody circles the wagons. Stephon Diggs will. He's a great, buy low candidate if we're talking fantasy. Emmanuel Sanders is, I think he's going to be a legitimate thing too. But Stephon Diggs is still the guy.
Sanders has got to be available in a lot of leagues too, don't you think?
Probably.
Yeah, he's in my league available.
Man,
I need to cut Jerry Jeudy, get him off IR.
No, don't do that. That's a terrible decision.
Please do that. Everybody cut Jerry Jeudy so that I can pick him up.
When is he coming back?
Next week.
A couple of weeks. They say week 7, I think.
Yeah.
Buffalo's got a great run game. I have too much faith in Zach Moss. But those 2 receivers, Knox, their tight end isn't that?
Why? This is a lovely time for a transition to the tight ends. Top 6.
Number 1, Nate Wallace. That end is so tight.
Oh, the tightest end.
That Veronica Vaughn, number 2. One piece. No, I've been a Buffalo Bills fan for a long time. But maybe I won't.
Is that why you're wearing your Buffalo blue?
Yeah, this Buffalo
sweatshirt.
Blue. I don't know. Maybe I won't cut Jerry Jeudy and pick up Emmanuel Sanders. But
who else do you have that you could cut? It's on the cut list, maybe.
Well, now that Christian McCaffrey's back, I'll need to get rid of Hubbard probably.
Yeah, dude,
He dropped down to 2 projected points.
Yeah, drop Hubbard and pick up Sanders. I would.
I wish they just put Barkley on IR so I know what to do. Because in my league, you can't. We have like little restrictions, so I can't cut him I can't put him on IR because Judy's there.
Oh, I see.
I don't know what to do. I'm just any week where I win and the Cowboys win, I sound like a genius in my own mind.
I'm kind of curious, Nate, because we're just going the last couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, there's just 2 weeks.
Who were the 6 tight ends?
Okay. Number 1, Mark Andrews, kind of obvious after
he had
that.
A huge one.
Yeah, monster.
I'm just wondering where Knox falls.
Dawson Knox, number 2.
Okay.
Number 2, Dawson Knox.
Interesting.
And then you have David Njoku. Who had a monster game, but this is over 2 weeks, right? Kyle Pitts 4, Hunter Henry 5.
He's available in my league, New England, right?
Dalton Schultz 6. Guess who's not in the top 6? Travis Kelce 10. Darren Waller 11.
Hawkinson, Kittle.
Hawkinson, Kittle.
All the reaches.
Everybody I overspent for.
Yeah, a little rough. Okay, so
Joku can't keep it up. I'll just say that. I've drafted him in the past. I've wasted dollars on him to pick him up.
I got Pitts going on waivers. I'm not waivers on bye week this week. I got to pick someone else up. None of those guys are available. Maybe Hunter Henry, but so let's ask this, Derek. Hunter Henry or Njoku for this next week?
For this next week?
Yeah. If you had to go just 1 week.
I'm a Hunter Henry. I think he's going to be more consistent part of the passing game. They don't really have big wideouts on the outside in New England. And I think they want to run that 2 tight end. And it looks like Mac Jones, who I am very impressed with, by the way.
Yeah.
I was talking earlier with somebody, his ability to keep his eyes downfield as a rookie under pressure is really impressive. And Hunter Henry has always been a talent. We know that. He just couldn't stay healthy. And I think he's going to be a significant part of that offense moving forward.
Yeah. Okay. Good advice there. Yeah. Okay. So so is Mark Andrews the easy answer on that one then to continue up on the rest of the year of that list? Or would you take Pitts over Mark Andrews?
I'm going to take Mark Andrews to stay up there, but at this point, you're not doing anything. You probably drafted Kyle Pitts as like the 4th, 5th, 6th tight end in the draft.
Yeah.
And at this point, he's living up to it. I mean, normally rookie tight ends don't do much, but I think it's becoming pretty clear, at least from
he was
a
different
catching standpoint.
Type of rookie tight end.
He really is. I mean,
well, especially with Calvin Ridley being out for however long he's going to be out too. I mean,
he's not. It was a personal thing. I think he just couldn't get his passport on time. That's my theory.
For real?
Well, that's totally made up, but that's my belief.
He sure disappeared.
Because I have him on every fantasy team as well. So I think he did it to screw me over. I think that was his personal reason. He didn't like me for some reason. So
that's right. That's right. Very likely. It's probably some email you wrote in 2011.
I don't like me much either, so I don't blame him. Calvin, it's okay. We're on the same page, buddy.
What about your boy in Cincy, CJ Uzoma?
No.
No,
I like him, but
I need someone. I got to cut. I picked up Brait on Tampa. He's awful. He got me 1 point.
I mean, Uzoma is. I think it was a 1 week thing.
Maybe
with Higgins back. There's way too.
Hunter
many
Henry might be
there.
your answer then, Dub. According to old Derrick,
if he's available, pick him up.
HH.
Yeah,
done.
And he was. I mean, people were really kind of crapping on him. During the draft. I mean, they didn't love Hunter Henry there. Dalton Schultz shows up again, top 6 there.
Mm-hmm.
What about Dawson Knox? I mean, does this guy have a chance to stay up there?
I think so.
Yeah,
I like him. I mean, I was not a believer, and after actually just watching pretty much every snap in the last few games with those guys, he looks like he's really a big part and actually talented.
Oh yeah.
Once again,
he's got a name.
I say that a lot this year.
Sounds like a James Vanderbeek football like name.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, Dawson Knox. He's a winner.
Touche. He is a winner. All right. Let's shift gears onto something. So let's have a debate about something, and let's see. So these next few questions I have for you guys are: would you rather have, moving forward, this or that? So we're going to play this or that, right? We're going to play now.
I'll take
the answer this or that. Now, here's the thing. There's going to be an answer for real life football and an answer for fantasy football. So the first one is, would you rather have, and once again, this is in a vacuum, would you rather have Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray moving forward this year?
In a vacuum. Not
in
talking
a vacuum.
about the
in a
team
vacuum.
they're
So,
on. We're talking
Wyatt,
if we were building a team.
So Wyatt, you go first on this one, right? Now, it could be the same answer, real life and in fantasy.
Yeah.
But what's your answer for that one? Lamar or Kyler?
I like Kyler's weapons more that he has on his team. I don't know if that qualifies as in a vacuum. He's a bit shorter and he's not quite as grimy as Lamar. So I would take Lamar. He just has the truz. He's got the whole city, Baltimore.
Okay. Now, is that for fantasy or reality? Or both?
If I were a GM, I would take, he's going to make 480 million. I mean, he's a star. He's a little fumble prone and he's shown that he can pass. He still has a chip on his shoulder about being, I'm just a wide receiver. Maybe he's just a runner. I think I would have had him last year if I hadn't had Mahomes, and I'm glad I got him this year.
Yeah.
I've had him on Madden too. I mean, he's just awesome.
Yeah. He is phenomenal.
So Derek,
he's one of those that I was saying. Lamar to me is one of the few individuals in the league that I would pay to go watch. Like it's very interesting to watch him play. I will say Kyler though, for fantasy, it's so close. Like it's really splitting hairs. I think Kyler Murray at the beginning of the year, Kyler was my league winner. I thought he was going to be QB1. And so I guess I'm not going to deviate from that after 5 weeks.
Yeah.
But in real football, I'm going to take Kyler simply because he knows how to slide. His baseball background, he knows how to not get hit. I've never seen Kyler take a hit, and Lamar gets hit every time he runs. It's going to happen. I saw what happened to RG3. It's just one Haloti Nada whack to the knee away from not being the same guy. And so he's phenomenal. But that one thing would make me pick Kyler because I think his health will be better longer term.
So are you taking Kyler in both fantasy and reality?
I'll flip a coin in fantasy. I couldn't choose. I guess because of the weapons, but Lamar, it's phenomenal either way. You're in good shape if you got either of those guys. But in reality, I think Kyler's just more versatile.
Okay.
And although Lamar's passed really well, I'm scared shitless about Lamar getting hurt at some point because I have him in every league. I really am. He takes a hit all the time. He just cannot get down.
Yeah, no, it's true. I actually am going to split the difference here a little bit. I would actually take Kyler in fantasy. And I think the reason why is I think you're going to get a lot more consistent pass numbers from Kyler. I think it's unlikely you'll have that 118-yard crap game that Lamar's bound to have here and there. Just when it's just off. And I think running wise, it's really hard to pick one over the other. I will say that Lamar is probably more likely to break out the really, really long run.
Mm-hmm.
But just like scrambling in the pocket, they're both so incredibly elusive with a slight edge to Kyler. But in reality, I just think Lamar's a gamer. I just think the dude's a gamer. Like, I think he's one of those guys. I think the fact that he doesn't slide, I think it's the fact that he will take on another guy. I think that just jazzes up. I think it just pumps up his teammates. I think they just see that he's willing to put his body on the line for them to win. I like that a lot. I think he's real too. I don't think there's a guy on that Baltimore team that doesn't really like Lamar Jackson.
YouTube Deion Sanders interviewing him at the NFL draft. It's pretty awesome.
Is it?
Lamar Jackson's reaction to slipping a bit.
What did he say? Do you remember?
What I just say? I said, look it up. YouTube Deion Sanders draft day interview. Lamar.
All right, let's do it again. All right, so Christian McCaffrey or Alvin Kamara? Christian McCaffrey or Alvin Kamara? Derek, you want to go first on this one?
Man, here it's, and again, it's this year. Are you talking this year, Nate?
I mean, the problem with answering that question is that he got hurt a little bit. No.
Yeah, he got hurt.
So no. Let's just say, you take those two guys perfectly healthy.
Okay. Forget it. It's C-Mac. C-Mac is unreal. They're very similar with the way they're utilized, but Christian McCaffrey is special. So is Kamara. You're probably happy if you got either of them, but I really there's a reason C-Mac was the number one player taken in just about every draft.
Yeah.
And but he hasn't done anything on the field.
But isn't that system a little bit?
A little. I mean, Hubbard came in and got 12.
Matt Rule came in and had a totally different system. C-Mac was the number one running back without him. And now he's the number one running back with him. His quickness is unmatched. Like, some of his quickness metrics from the draft are the best running backs have ever had. And that's what running back is in the NFL. The 40 gets so overrated, but those 3 cone drills, shuttles, and those sort of things, those explosive, fast phone booth type of things, he moves like nobody.
Man, Valor High School, Highlands Ranch, Colorado, on the map, dude. On the map.
Yep.
Yeah, and it helped his dad sell a lot more mustard too. Right? You know about that, Dub? Well, no. Ed McCaffrey mustard gets sold in the grocery stores there in Colorado. Former Bronco wide receiver Ed
McCaffrey. I like French's and Grey Poupons, so
you're very fancy.
Well, they don't have any famous sons.
I don't see any mustard stains on that shirt there, Dub.
Thanks. You guys are really talking about it. I don't know why I put it on.
So are you calling McCaffrey fantasy and reality then, Derek?
I'm going to call McCaffrey fantasy. I'm going to call Kamara reality, though. And I just, for the same reason, some of Kamara's plyometrics and the way he does things, I just think his injury risk is a bit less. So
if you were a head coach, you would take Kamara before McCaffrey.
I would.
No.
You would still take McCaffrey?
I'm already debating myself in my head, so there's a conversation going on back here. I don't know.
Okay.
Let's go to Wyatt.
What do you have?
He's never available. McCaffrey. What did he play 4 weeks last season?
Yeah.
And 3 out of 6 this season? Or no, there's 3 out of 5.
Something like that.
Yeah.
He's
well, he probably could have.
There's something about him I really like, but son of a pro, that's fun. He's a fun player. He's exciting. He came in the league and just everyone knows he's going to get the ball, and he's not built like Derrick Henry, and he's not the fastest, but he's just quick and elusive and makes people miss, and he makes the right decision. He's great in the flat, and
great hands.
He's a fun player. And the Panthers is such a fun redemption story anyway, just to kind of move on from Cam. Yeah. And Their colors. I mean, they're just good looking colors. I've always loved Carolina blue.
That's why you're wearing your Carolina.
That's why I'm wearing Carolina blue right now. You'll edit that, man. So that
freaking awesome. All right.
Let's call it callback, everyone.
All right. Yeah, I'll take
in the industry.
Yeah. Now that we're in the industry.
So why are you saying McCaffrey for both, or what are you saying?
No. I'm saying McCaffrey puts butts in the seats, and as an owner of a team, you'd want him on your team, but as like a head coach that wants to just have a running back ready to go every possession, I think Kamara.
That's what I meant. That's the point I was making in my head. Is
going to get you more games won. But man, the upside of McCaffrey is unlike anyone else. I mean, he's coming off I don't know how bad of an injury. Hamstrings are always tricky, but he's already projected like 23 points in my league. I mean, just first week back.
Oh yeah.
And that's 8 more than they ever projected Hubbard. So, I mean, even the same team, same position, he's just that much better than everyone.
What do you think, Nate?
You know, this one is really tough for me because I kind of agree with you guys. I will say that as a fantasy football player, you know, obviously the availability thing is a problem, but I don't see how you can't take McCaffrey as the better fantasy football player. I mean, because let's put it this way, even if McCaffrey misses just those 2 games, I'd still bet you dimes to dollars that McCaffrey finishes with more fantasy points at the end of the year, missing 2 games than Kamara does.
Bet.
I just said dimes to donuts. So I'd taken the bet, but
I'll take the donuts.
All right. Yeah. I mean, it's just not going to surprise. I mean, Kamara's going to have a couple of big games in there. McCaffrey just week after week after week, it's going to be 25 to 50 points, 25 to 50 points, 20. I mean, he just doesn't have his floor is so high. His floor is so high. It's hard to say no to that. But in reality, I mean, Kamara is just a freak. He's just an absolute freak. I mean, it's so hard to say. In reality, I wouldn't take Kamara over McCaffrey. So I kind of agree with that.
The Saints too want to keep Kamara getting the ball. They want to limit Winston's.
Yeah,
they want to witness
It's a verb.
Yeah,
it's a verb now. All right, next one. Nick Chubb or Derrick Henry? Nick Chubb. Oh,
what do you think?
Nick Chubb or Derrick Henry? You go first, Ninja.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, man.
So this is really hard. I mean, this one's so hard. So I think as an overall running back, I think Nick Chubb is a better back than Derrick Henry, skills-wise. The problem with Henry is that he's a giant. He's so big. He's so strong. He's so fast that it's like, I mean, like the NBA equivalent. He's the NBA equivalent of Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? I mean, he's just an absolute freak. And when he gets in the lane, you can't stop him. However,
you can't catch
Kevin
him.
Durant, skill-wise, is 3 to 4 times better, skill-wise, than Giannis is. And I think this is sort of similar. I think Nick Chubb right now, if I was starting a franchise, I would lose sleep over not drafting Nick Chubb as my number 1 running back. I just think he's that good. I mean, even Kamara and McCaffrey, I just think that he is the combination of being able to catch the ball, and even though he doesn't catch a ton, he is such a good running back. Like, I just think that he finds every hole in your defense. I think his ability to read plays, I think he's smart. I think he's cerebral. I think he's tough. He's really elusive. He's tough. But I mean, I with all of that said, I would say Derrick Henry for both.
Damn it! You stole my thunder. I was going to be like Derrick Henry. It's easy.
Yeah. Do you think it's?
I love Nick Chubb. I'm a massive Nick Chubb fan too. I really agree with you on everything you said. And Derrick Henry. When you have somebody who's just that special. So here's the thing. I've been wrong on Derrick Henry.
Yep.
I've been wrong. I pass him up all the time. I eat crow. I keep saying he's going to get hurt. You can't take that punishment. You can't do this. The guy is just amazing. And he's fat. He has breakaway. He has some elusiveness. He's perfect in that system.
Especially when that passing game gets going better.
Well, what's crazy is they've been throwing to him this year. I think he already has almost as many receptions this year as he did all of last year. Like they're now incorporating him into the passing game. He's an amazing player. Obviously, we all know that he's the number one running back in fantasy. And I think I'd take him over Chubb in reality too right now. There's just no way he's a special player. You don't get those guys very often. I was so wrong.
Yeah.
I've said that a lot today.
It's humbling. It's a humbling podcast.
Yeah.
I'd take Henry too. We can keep it short. He's awesome. He doesn't have Kareem Hunt either, stealing carries but I said earlier that makes Chubb good because he's sharing the load, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Fantasy wise, Henry's just getting it all. He's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Okay, good.
You won't see Nick Chubb get 180 yards and 3 touchdowns very often, but Henry can do it.
Seems like he does it by halftime every year.
Oh, he's a freak. Absolute freak. Okay. So this next question, I'm going to paraphrase a little bit. So once again, in a vacuum, this is just this year. This isn't like moving forward. Just this year. If you have to win a Super Bowl this year, do you want your quarterback to be Tom Brady or Pat Mahomes?
In NFL,
forgetting the team fantasy that they're on.
Forgetting the team that they're on. Like,
so
he's going to be starting a team. He's going to be the leader of your team. Yep. Wyatt, you want to tackle that one first? If you had to win a Super Bowl right now this year, Tom Brady or Pat Mahomes?
Having nothing to do with the team they're on.
Yep.
Holy shit.
I'd take Mahomes. He can scramble. His arm's stronger. He can throw at different angles. He doesn't have the quick reads Brady does, but he's more exciting. Not more exciting. He has those more exciting big plays. And I feel like he can't manage the game as well as Brady. He's not going to keep the game in his control like Brady does, but he's going to have that potential to come back from 21 down and just put up 450 yards and make those huge plays that'll get him a win.
Okay.
I like him a lot.
Derek?
Even though he sounds like a frog.
This is tough because we just talked earlier saying there is no reasonable debate about who the greatest of all time is anymore. But I think there is a reasonable debate about who the greatest right now is. And the situation Tom Brady is in is allowing him to put up these huge numbers. If the situation were different and I put them both on Jacksonville, for example. Who's going to win more games? Who's going to be more productive? I think it's Pat Mahomes. So therefore, if I'm starting a random team and I need to pick a quarterback, it's going to be Pat Mahomes. And I've been wrong a lot already, so why not add another one? So Pat Mahomes.
So I actually will take Tom Brady here, which makes me sick to my stomach that I'm picking this guy. But the reason I'm taking Tom Brady is because if the ultimate goal is that I have to win a Super Bowl, remember, all I have to do is get into the playoffs. Right? I just have to get into the playoffs. Tom Brady has been there so many times. And when it comes down to that, like absolute crunch time moments that every single playoff game seems to come to, I'm going to trust that Brady is going to make that decision over Mahomes. Although in the regular season, I think you're going to have a better record with Mahomes than you're going to have with Brady. If we're talking like Jacksonville, you just throw him on Jacksonville, right? You throw him on Indianapolis or whatever it might be. But holy crap, man. I mean, like, your best chances.
Brady's IQ is just
your best chances, in my opinion, are going to be are going to be Brady there.
Even
right.
just
once again, you're right, Nate. I'm humbled.
Just what he did to Tyrann, like what he did to Tyrann Mathieu in the Super Bowl, like throwing directly at him to get that pass interference call to totally break his confidence, get in his head. Brady manipulates the refs and cheats.
But he does it better than anybody, and that's what I want on my team.
Yeah,
so
that's right. As long as I have deflated balls, I'm going to take Brady. All right. You guys want to play a couple more of these?
If you want to, Nate.
All right. It's my show. All right. We got three more. Let's play three more here real quick.
All right.
Devonta Adams or DeAndre Hopkins? Wyatt, go. Devonta or DeAndre?
Do both have Aaron Rodgers, or is it?
They both have Pat Mahomes.
Oh.
I just think Devonta Adams does everything right. He does little routes right. He runs slants better. He's just, I don't know. He's top 3 right now. He's such a good player.
Yeah. He's huge too. Yeah.
So I think Devontae's get off is the best in the league. Mm-hmm. His ability to beat corners off the line is unreal. No wasted steps. He's special. I just think Devonta Adams, away from that special relationship with Aaron Rodgers, is different. And so if you're telling me, hey, I'm putting him on a random team with Pat Mahomes, I'm still going Devonta.
Okay.
Or sorry. I mean, I'm going Hop. I just think Hopkins can do some things Devonta might not necessarily be able to do. And I think Hopkins can do just about everything Devonta does. Because don't make no mistake, having Aaron Rodgers and that special mind meld they have does help Devonta a lot. He's phenomenal, but I'll take Hopkins.
Okay. Yeah, I hate to break this tie a little bit because it's actually hard to. I would say, like, if we're saying that Pat Mahomes is throwing the ball, what receiver is going to win 50-50 balls more? And my heart tells me it's Hop. It seems like the guy always seems physical to come down with the 50-50 balls. But once again, if you were just to switch the quarterback up a little bit and say it's Aaron Rodgers, I mean, it's so obvious it's Devonta, right? But like, even if it's like one of those, like, let's say it's Teddy Bridgewater's your quarterback, right? Then I'm going to take Devonta because Bridgewater is just so good at getting those like 10 to 15 yard passes out there. And Devonta is just already open. On those. So it's really hard. I mean, I think that's more of a system thing, but to me, those guys are 1A and 1B.
I'm taking Kadarius Toney because I'm still angry. I forgot he went to Florida, and I want to shoot myself right now because of it.
So this next one I think is pretty obvious because I think one, at least in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe you guys can clarify this. I think one guy is just clearly better as a real football player, like on my team, and the other one's just clearly better as the fantasy player, right? And so these two guys are George Kittle and Travis Kelce. Derek, you go first on this one.
With Mahomes as my quarter? No, it is
with Jimmy G and Bad.
Yeah. There's no doubt that Kelce's the better fantasy. It's rough. I don't think Kelce is as good as Travis Kelce is without Pat Mahomes in that offense. I think he's an excellent player, but I don't think in a vacuum that he's that same special guy, athletically and all the other things. And Kittle's an amazing blocker. That's why Gronkowski was always my favorite guy, because he was the best blocking tight end in the league when he was catching everything. So assuming health, I think if I'm starting a team, I'm taking George Kittle over Kelce. Ugh, hurt me to say that.
Good. I like it. Okay, Wyatt?
Yeah, just like the eye test right away. Kelce just looks a little older, a little slower. Kittle lost something when he cut his hair. I don't know.
Kelsey lost something when he cut his beard. It's
the
Samson effect. That's why you should never do it, Wyatt. Just let that stuff grow out like big
weed.
Jesus.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Kittle just because I hope I've got so much hope for him. If he can step up and start having that top 4 tight end season, top 2 like he's supposed to, then I'll win a Super Bowl. I mean, no doubt. Even with Zach Moss as my slot and my RB3, I'm gonna win it all.
Oh, I believe it. You get it. Speak it into existence, Wyatt. Speak it into existence, buddy.
I'm living this secret.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just love George Kittle. I love everything about the guy. I mean, he is plenty good enough for me as far as running and catching. I still think that catch, was it last year or maybe the year before, where he just drug like 4 guys.
It was last year.
It was wind just warms the
he's more powerful than Kelsey for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, the fact that, I mean, his social media is better. For whatever that's worth, Kill's fantastic that way. But no, I mean, but the thing about Kelsey is that, like, isn't it weird though too that Kelsey's like in the same position as Tony Gonzalez, and I mean, to me, those guys are actually really similar. Am I wrong there, Derek? I'm not remembering Tony Gonzalez, because I remember him being a really solid, blocker, really solid.
Yeah.
But he was just amazing. He was
solid. Amazing. His hands, he probably had the best hands ever at tight end.
Him, and
just
Antonio
from pure
Gates
hands.
is up there too. Yeah.
Yeah, Antonio Gates. But yeah, I don't know that Kelsey is better than, Tony Gonzalez or Antonio Gates. Like, I just don't. I don't know if he is. I think he might be kind of
considering
like
those two are Hall of Famers.
Right. Well, here
Chelsea's going to the Hall of Fame. It's already over.
Of course he is. Of course he is. I guess I'm just saying it's the numbers that he's putting up fantasy wise are a product of where he is and how they run that offense. I think, again, if our discussion is about picking him up, putting him in a vacuum, starting a team, I'm taking Kittle.
Okay. All right, last one.
John Gruden or Roger Goodell?
You're starting a team. You need a young quarterback. You take Josh Allen or Justin Herbert.
Oh, Ooh. Fuck you, Nate. I'm out.
Good night, everybody.
And he's done.
I will take Herbert because I pulled his rookie card from a pack. Not just a pack at Target.
A rookie card.
I was at Target, hidden behind like 3 books with 3 packs of cards, and I took only one because I'm not a hoarder. And
yeah, you are.
Pulled a rookie, huh?
Yeah, you are.
No. My mom is. I'm not.
Touche.
I like trinkets, okay, and
you
baubles.
Are a trinket guy.
I got some knickknacks and baubles and trinkets. Where was I? My precious things. Yeah, so I hope, I don't know, he's just got the look. He's got the childhood story where he predicted his career. He's got the sunshine and powder blues. And he's the man.
He is the man.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll take Josh Allen just because of his rushing upside. I think.
And hurdling.
He's, dude, at his size, strength, and the way they even do design runs for the guy, I'll just take his overall athleticism. And Herbert is very good. Herbert can run. He's a great athlete. That's not a knock on him. But Josh Allen is another breed, kind of like we were talking about with Derrick Henry. You just don't get guys with those physical attributes that he's truly made himself an accurate passer. It's amazing after the first couple of years in the league. His development, his leap into year 3, and then obviously this year he's just keeping it rolling. I'll take Josh Allen in this one, but here I'm winning Super Bowls with both of them.
I love it. Wyatt, are you taking Herbert in reality and fantasy then?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
He's got the California star look. He's got He's got it going on.
It's interesting. Your league gives points for looks. I need to join that league.
Strong.
No, I'm going Allen, but again, it's not by much.
Yeah. Yeah. I tend to agree. Although I want to see one before I can answer that question. I want to see one more year from Justin Herbert, because I mean, Allen's in what, year 5?
Yeah.
And
maybe.
Herbert's in year 2, right? Does that sound right?
Sounds right.
4 or 5.
Yeah, Herbert's year 2 for sure.
Allen went to
I think
Wyoming.
Allen's year 2.
I know that.
Or year 4.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting because I think Herbert is where Allen was last year, or close to it at least. Although, and I will say that I think that Herbert may have some better weapons, because I think Eckler is better than Singletary or Moss.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, even though Stephon Diggs, I'm going to call Stephon Diggs and what's his name?
Trayvon Diggs.
No, Stephon Diggs.
They're brothers.
And Keenan Allen. I'm going to call Stephon Diggs and Keenan Allen a wash. But then you got Mike Williams. But although, I mean, who knows? When Dawson Knox, it seems like a better tight end than what they've got going in San Diego. I can't call them San Diego. Los Angeles now. But anyways, so right now, I guess I would lean towards Josh Allen in both. But right now, I mean, Justin Herbert's been killing it, number 1 quarterback last 2 weeks running. So anyways,
what do you guys think about Khalil Herbert in Chicago?
I don't even know who Khalil Herbert is.
Oh, well, he had 18 carries last week, running back.
Really?
And then Devontae Booker is going to be an obvious pickup.
Yeah, he'll be picked up.
Those are the big 2 I'm looking at.
Yeah.
And Hunter Henry now, I think. Maybe I'll not go after Joku, get Hunter. He's a little more consistent.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what sealed it? I'm just thinking what sealed our Josh Allen, Justin Herbert thing. Josh Allen's girlfriend.
Oh, did you just Google that?
Yeah, I remember seeing her, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy. I mean, it's not AJ McCarron's girlfriend, but it's close.
AJ McCarron.
Josh Allen's still in the league, so his girlfriend becomes more relevant. We're doing fantasy girlfriends and wives in our
handsome
other
quarterbacks league versus fantasy wives. Well, what about Sierra? I mean, Russell Wilson's hurt, but she's still.
Oh no, it's high. It's a high draft pick, high pick.
All right, Wyatt's going to show his age. I got one more question. We're gonna piece out of this thing. One more question, Wyatt. Prime LeBron, prime MJ.
Yeah,
who are you taking?
Jerry West.
Don't you
the logo?
Don't you puss out on this?
The logo. I sure hated LeBron once he kind of sold out to China. But I really hated MJ when he was playing my Utah Jazz. Go Jazz. Got my Jazz colors on.
Got your Jazz purple on. It's nice.
Plus, he had Pippen and Horace Grant. But no one competed how many plays does Lewis, LaHype, LaFlop take off?
Oh,
how many?
Gosh.
I mean, for every rundown block that's epic and incredible, I'd take LeBron though. He's just bigger and stronger, passes the ball better, rebounds better, but he just doesn't have the drive that Jordan did.
You're really okay. You're taking LeBron. That's your final answer.
No, Jordan. Come on. Final answer.
Okay,
prime
Derek?
MJ.
Man, this is something we talk about so often, and I'm taking LeBron. Fuck it. I think his overall skill set is phenomenal. It's tough because we never got to see MJ just go somewhere else because it's totally different NBA, right? Mm-hmm. But everywhere LeBron drops, all of a sudden they're in the finals automatically. It's really amazing what he's been able to do in his career. And again, you might be splitting hairs. And I think the best explanation for the good old days is a bad memory.
That's why I started rocking in my rocking chair. The good old days.
Yeah. Best explanation for the good old days is a bad memory. And I think sometimes we fantasize and romanticize the past. And I don't know, LeBron is just amazing. I could have some recency bias here, but forget whatever you think of him personally. He's absolutely unreal, and he's done it for a phenomenally long time. So yeah, I'll take LeBron.
Well, I could go on for 20 minutes. I won't.
Of course.
I'm taking MJ, and it's not close. It's not even close. There's one caveat, however. I think LeBron is a far better teammate than Michael Jordan. I think Michael Jordan was an asshole, but I also think that was the thing that made him the greatest that's ever laced it up. They talk about Kobe being an asshole, being a really tough teammate to deal with. As far as being pricks, I think MJ and Kobe are 1A and 1B. But the thing is that what killed LeBron in my like, here's the deal. If LeBron James had never left Cleveland and just stayed there his whole career and let them draft players and bring in free agents and kind of do what Chicago did. The problem is that the moment he went to Miami and he joins up with Bosch and he joins up with D Wade, and then of course Ray Allen comes in too later on. I was out. I didn't care anymore. I didn't care. I thought, who cares? I mean, it's kind of like, some of the discussions we have with some of these other things. Well, yeah, but if you look at what Tom Brady has to throw to, right, then clearly, I mean, the amount of weapons that they have is just, it's insane.
But Nate, he goes back to Cleveland with nothing.
Oh yeah.
Relatively.
Oh yeah.
And wins it. Comes back from 3 games to 1.
Anything. Nothing.
It was okay. It's not nothing, but in the NBA, in the grand scheme, you have another top 50 in Scottie Pippen, whatever, different eras and everything. But when he's moved places, they've won. It's a debate that can go on and on. Can we just agree?
Everyone, my phone's dying.
Is he on the Mount Rushmore? They're both on the Mount Rushmore, right?
He
doesn't like what I had to say. He doesn't like LeBron. They're both on the Mount Rushmore.
No,
right?
Touche. I mean, well, that's why it's a question. That's why it's a question.
It's tough to say who's better, but they're both on my Mount Rushmore for sure.
All right, man. Well, good times, man. Thanks for joining us. Everybody that's watching, like, favorite, subscribe to this greatest podcast of all time. See you, Derek. Take care, man.
Bye, buddy.
Later, buddy.